Welcome and thanks for joining today. Over the years, Aptitude has continued to grow, encountering new challenges and opportunities, but has remained consistent with trying to create a two-sided market that drives differentiated value to both our providers and suppliers. As Dr. Lucenti just shared the vision of where the organization is going, we would like to step a little further in and spend a few minutes talking about how we deliver value to you via the technology, services, and data that our team supports you with. I am James Hull. I lead the Aptitude technology from the aspect of product development and operations. Today joining me is Debbie Schuhardt and Amy Brouhle. Ladies, would you like to introduce yourselves?
So I'm Debbie Schuhardt, and I lead a team of about 65 people that works with providers to help them use the technology and provide clinical expertise to help them reduce their costs.
I'm Amy Brouhle. I work with our strategic supplier team, which partners closely with Debbie's team, as you'll hear more about shortly.
Thank you very much. As we peel back the layers, we are going to highlight some of the best engagement practices we see from both the supplier and providers, breaking these into a couple themes: collaboration, communication, commitment, and technology. Amy, let's start with collaboration. Can you give us some insight on how collaboration has driven better enhanced engagements?
Sure. So I think, we've really had the opportunity, as I mentioned earlier, to partner really closely with Debbie's team and advisory within our technology consultants, pulling in the technology and really getting everybody to the table, including our providers and our suppliers, and talking more, getting all the voices together to really understand what everybody's trying to achieve, what value definition means to everybody, and how we can really work more closely together as we move through some of these engagements.
Very good. Debbie?
Yeah, so I think, as Amy mentioned, it's the working together that has made a big difference. The collaboration really takes effect as we meet together, we include each other in meetings, we are trying to give the same message consistently to both the providers and the suppliers and trying to bring them closer together.
Debbie, we always hear communication is the key to all successful engagements. How does this apply here?
So sometimes these working with members and suppliers can be complicated, and communication is really that bridge. And so communication within the team to providers and to suppliers is really paramount. And what we found is that when we structure it and we have specific structure that we follow, specific forms that we fill out, specific times that we communicate, that it tends to make a difference and the work goes faster, better, and everybody really achieves more value in their goals.
Amy, any additions?
Yeah, I think it's been really exciting to see all of the voices at the table and to really understand from a communication perspective what that means. So, what is top of mind for our advisory consultants, what's top of mind for our providers, for our suppliers, and really sort of listening and hearing what's rising to the top, as it were, in these projects so that we really can sort of come together, as Debbie indicated, and really drive additional value for all parties.
Amy, commitment or value can be talked about in many different ways. How does commitment fit into working between suppliers and providers differently today?
James, obviously commitment can mean a lot of different things. I think in this case, it's commitment to the process and the process that we've established that everybody's come together to really drive. It's commitment to value to both parties, to the two-sided marketplace. And I think it's value to the overall satisfaction as we think about sort of how we're driving satisfaction to the member, to the supplier, and to our collective teams.
Yeah, I agree. I think that, as Amy and James alluded to, that commitment does take many forms. In this case, we really want to have the providers and suppliers committed to the process that we've set out. That helps it go more smoothly. It also helps the achievement of value and success. Understanding everybody's goals and pushing towards that in a way that has that type of commitment tied to it is really what makes a difference.
So from a value perspective, Amy, what do you see from opportunities outside of just pricing?
So I think it's opportunities as we think about sort of what everybody's coming to the table to bring. Is it dual source? Is it multiple? Is it different than they've thought about things before? I think that's what we're really looking to. And I think it also ties in the technology, right? We talk about the bridge and what the technology can help us do, but really the transparency, the commitment that the platform drives, right, are really, really important to this overall process. And to some degree, we use it all the time, the glue, right, to some degree that brings us all together.
As we talk about the technology that Amy was just talking about and the use of the Aptitude platform, what do you see as some of the advantages of tying all the work that is being done with collaboration, communication, and commitment into the evolution of the technology?
I think feedback from suppliers, feedback from the providers, feedback from those people who are using the tool has helped us to expand and grow the capability, really understand more what the needs are on both sides and try to meet them. Automating a process means that you have to kind of change the way you do your work in order to take advantage of that automation, and really understanding how those users are able to do so, and then how we can continue to evolve to make it better for everybody.
So Amy, from the supplier side, how does that technology tie all this in?
I think it's the visibility that it creates, James, the visibility to the work that's gone on earlier in the process, and the visibility that they have into sort of the behaviors that are happening in the platform, what's being driven, all of those things, right? They can't do that anywhere else. And so I think that's really a unique differentiator for this that we hear a lot from our suppliers.
So as we talk about collaboration, one of the things that constantly comes up is, why do we do contracts at a local level through Aptitude, but there's also the GPO contracts? Amy, can you kind of give us a talk to that it's not one, it could be both?
Yes, when we talk to the suppliers about their opportunities broadly within Vizient, it's not just the GPO, not just Aptitude, it's the collective opportunity across our contracting platforms that give them the greatest access to our members, the greatest visibility into the work that they're doing, whether that's nationally, whether that's local in their particular markets, or with a particular provider.
And I would say the same on the provider side, is it gives the provider multiple opportunities to find the type of contracting that works best for them. Sometimes that may be a GPO contract, sometimes that may be local, and using the Aptitude platform to codify those local agreements really allows them then to further expand the relationship with the suppliers that they might not otherwise have if it's just a local on their own.
So any last words as we talk about collaboration, communication, commitment, technology?
I would say that I'm excited to see where we go next. So no pressure, but really excited about the expansion of what we can do with this technology. Additional suppliers that we can bring to the table, right? The team is always thinking about that, and how we really can continue to build on the collaboration, communication, commitment that we've achieved thus far.
Yeah, I think the platform is a great foundation for that, and the working processes that we've established with the teams and how we approach both the providers and the suppliers is going to help really move us forward.
Thanks, Debbie and Amy, for spending the time this afternoon with me. You have both highlighted critical pieces of the puzzle to help drive stronger partnerships and increase value to both sides. The fact is, technology, aka Aptitude, is a piece of the puzzle to automate and drive speed to value, but it is the collaboration, communication, and commitment of each of these for suppliers and providers throughout the process that ultimately drives the best outcomes.